Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. So the LEC offseason is now winding down, actually. It seems like, and Wooloo and a lot of these other reporters are tweeting out that pretty much all 50 LEC players are locked in for the most part. Now, there could still be things that change. Sometimes verbal agreements fall through, and there's still plenty of stories to tell about this offseason. And I want to run through, and rank all the teams, power rankings headed in the next season, all that. There's still plenty to do for the LEC, and the LCS offseason, hasn't even started yet. So don't worry. We're not done with offseason content, but Wooloo did tweet out this. So a little bit of a different kind of video today. I wanted to go over some moves that almost happened and just kind of talk about them a little bit because I think they're interesting. Wooloo said some pictures I edited during the LEC offseason for considered changes that didn't go through. Had them ready to be tweeted in case it happened. I had a whole folder of them, which is pretty funny. And the first one, of course, is G2 Elyoya. This one isn't super surprising. We know that G2 offered or at least reportedly offered 800,000 euros to Mad Lions for Elyoya. Obviously, they declined that. We also know that Fnatic was interested in Elyoya as well. And obviously, Fnatic ends up with Razork again. G2 ends up with Yike. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see how that plays out. Obviously, Elyoya, probably the best jungler in Europe right now. Really, I think at this Worlds proved that at his best, he can be an internationally relevant jungler and a carry jungler on the international stage. Now, will he level up again this coming season and maybe be one of the best junglers in the world? Will he take a step back? Who knows for sure? But it would have been a very, very big pickup. A relatively young, relatively inexperienced, budding superstar headed to G2 to replace Jankos would have been good. And now Yike has a lot of pressure on his shoulders, not only replacing Jankos, but being the guy that they ended up getting instead of Elyoya. And we'll see how Elyoya and Mad Lions do this year, because Mad Lions roster kind of interesting. Not all that great, I don't think, but interesting. The next potential move is this. This is Vitality Bwipo. Obviously, Bwipo did not end up getting a starting spot in the LEC, so don't know what's next for him. An LCS spot, an ERL spot, retiring, going to casting, taking a break off Team McDonald's. I don't know, but the fact that he almost went to Vitality, I think, is pretty interesting. We know Alphari is deciding to take a break. Vitality's looking at other top lane options. They end up going with Photon, but I know they were looking at Thanatos or whatever, and then Bwipo as well. And I think this one would have been kind of interesting. I know Bwipo's been talking a lot recently about how he wants to play more weak side, which could have potentially been good, being able to put more resources into perks and into bow. But then Vitality ends up with Neon at 80 carry, and he isn't a super resource intensive 80 carry either. Maybe if Vitality would have ended up with Upset, it would have been a little bit more interesting, but obviously I don't know how much Bwipo and Upset get along at this point, so who knows. But Bwipo to Vitality could have definitely been an interesting and fun option, but I am way more excited about Photon. We have this as well. This is obviously Summit potentially going to Mad Lions, and this one I really thought was going to happen. I thought this one just made so much sense, with rumors of Summit potentially wanting to come back to the West after playing for a split in the LPL, him doing really well in the LPL, and Arma not really doing well. This kind of seemed like a no-brainer to me, and I would have been very excited if Mad Lions actually did get this done. I actually can't remember off the top of my head who is even the Mad Lions top laner right now. Chassis. Obviously I don't know much about him. I don't know how good he's going to be or whatever, but I know Summit probably would have been a beast for Mad Lions, and I wonder why this didn't happen, why this didn't get done. And the other one, and this one is another one we've kind of heard about, but this is VTO to Mad Lions. There was a world where I'm pretty sure VTO was considering Mad Lions or Excel, and if he would have ended up at Mad Lions, obviously Nisqy would have been teamless. Nisqy may have had to look at LCS options at that point. Nisqy may have had to look at, I believe, Heretics or BDS or one of those teams is where Nisqy would have ended up, which obviously for him personally would have been way worse off than staying with Mad Lions. But for VTO, it would have been very interesting. And then who knows what would have happened with Excel? Would they have kept Nuke Duck? Would they have gone in another direction? I don't know, but VTO to Mad Lions definitely would have been a fun one, but I still think him ending up at Excel is still pretty exciting. But these are just 4 moves that almost went down in the LEC offseason. Wooloo had them ready to go, which means they were talked about. They were discussed. They didn't happen, but I still think they're fun and interesting, and I wanted to share. But pretty much it was video today, guys. Hopefully catch the next one.